Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of Hope, which means
helping other people everywhere.
yes. With myself, Daps, and Bradley Johnson. Love to everyone supporting. The last one you guys would have seen was probably Stannerman. So that was a good podcast. Do you enjoy that one, Brad?
Yeah, no, it was real insight to his life and how he's changed it around. So yeah, it was a really good one.
Yeah, man. So hopefully moving forward, as well, we can set up the audio version so on Spotify, iTunes, and all that, and just so that not everyone watches it. So yeah, today, do you want to introduce our person, Brad? Who have we got?
We've got another really interesting story. I won't say too much. I'll let you listen to it and make your mind up and let him say his story. But his name is Ben Hatchett.
Ben Hatchett.
And a good friend of mine over the past few months. So really good story. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, Bradley's talking today. It's gonna be a good one. Flipping over. Let me bring him in now. There's probably people here that watch this every week. I think there's some agenda that you don't actually talk. Yes. What's going on, my guy?
What's happening?
No. How are you, man?
I'm all good. How are you both?
I'm all right, man. We're just here, lockdown, can't really do much, but yeah. So that's about it, really, man. But thank you for doing this. Like, you've got you're one of those people with such an interesting story that unless people actually speak to you or hear you speaking, they'll never actually know just how mad like your life has been up until now. So very quickly, what we like to do on this podcast is just see how the person is, but then just go straight into their story and see where it started for them. So like, number one, how are you properly? Like, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, love that. And number two, like, where did it start for you? Like, where did you grow up? And yeah, just how did it all start?
Well, I was born in Hastings, where I'm living now. So I've actually gone back. But I grew up in the south coast town of Eastbourne. So that's it's not far from Hastings. So I grew up most in Eastbourne. Obviously, I come up a lot of my life, beginning of my life in foster homes, etc. But yeah, mostly around like Eastbourne I grew up.
Yeah, man. So growing up now, because the reason why I'm asking you in particular is because you've had an interesting life, and I just want to dig deeper into what led to going down certain.
That wasn't meant to happen. Hey.
Do you want me to pause it? Back up. I can pause it for you if you want.
I'm trying to make my flat a bit more nicer. Do you know what I mean? My shitty little studio, my little fucking support living flat. I'm trying to make it actually, it's all right.
You can't make this up. But yeah, no. I was just saying that growing up, like, were you someone that was, on the street, or were you someone that, had it nice? I mean, I know what the answer is, but I want you to explain.
I was a street kid, so basically, obviously coming up through care and all that, like, I never really had any sort of like solid guidance in my life. So I never fitted into school. Do you get what I mean? I never sort of fitted in there, and like, I had a difficult time in this sort of care, and that again, like my sort of framing that with some of my story, you probably picture someone who's gonna be fucking 6'6" and tongue. And do you get what I'm sort of saying? No, I'm do you know what I mean? I'm like 5'7", a small dude and that. And then so when I was younger, you can imagine, innit? Obviously, you get a difficult time, innit? And so yeah, when I sort of found my way, I started like I stopped going to school. Like I didn't like click into school. Do you get what I mean? Like I was going, I didn't understand sort of like subjects. I didn't understand. I couldn't like spell and all that. And I don't know. Everything I was sort of doing, I didn't feel like I fitted in with anyone at sort of school. It was only when I sort of like basically fucked it off and I started going into the town and I met some guys in the sort of like town area, and then yeah, we just started mixing. I don't know, maybe some sort of sense of like protection. Do you get what I mean? I was sort of around some dudes, and you know what I mean. There was what do you call it? All game. Do you know what I mean? You're all game. Like shit pops off, everyone's backing in. causing trouble, then you start like doing bits of hustling, and do you get what I mean? And then you start getting that circle of like drink and violence and going out, and then sort of just duck and diving. So your whole surrounding, your whole brain becomes antisocial. So but I was really drawn to that because maybe I always felt sort of like outcasted. Maybe I never felt like, no, I sort of felt somewhere now that I belong. Do you get what I mean? I felt safe. I feel like someone.
Did you did you come from like a 2-parent household as well?
No. I didn't come from. I don't come from like stability. I didn't grow up with, I didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up with stability. I grew up with fuck all, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing.
Do you think, you touched on there about going to school and you didn't have that support and help, you couldn't spell and you found it hard in school. Do you think that, what was your being in the care home? Did you get the support there or not?
No, that's what I mean. For me, in the care homes, I was mostly on the receiving end of bullying. Do you get what I mean? So like,
what was your care home situation? What was it? Was you living with numerous kids, or how was it living in the care home?
There was a couple of homes. I got moved about quite a bit from this around the southeast region. So from like Hastings up to London, I went to like different sort of. Most of them were like foster homes, but like not like your ordinary sort of foster home where it's 2 parents and they got a kid who's saying they foster 1 or 2. I mostly sort of like found myself in them sort of like them big houses where like them foster parents would foster like 7, 8, 9 kids. Did you get what I mean? So children's homes sort of / foster. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
How hard is it though? Like when you're bouncing around, from foster home to foster home, to actually try and find your feet and actually like come into your own. Go on.
And how old were you when we were talking about this period? How old were you? 11, 12, young?
Oh, but I was in care pretty much not long from birth. So really? I was born here, so I was like pretty much born into the system.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay.
So your question, you're saying how hard is it to sort of find?
Yeah.
Because I was used to it at such a young age, it becomes the norm. Do you get what I'm sort of saying? When you don't know it, you can't measure that to anything else that you don't know. Like these other kids I was mixed with school, they go home to parents. I don't know that. I can't relate to that because I wasn't living that. I had no experience of that.
Yeah, and obviously like you're older now. So at what point do you like? At what point were you able to look at that and think how much that kind of messed with you? Because you don't know any better when you're younger. But now when you're older, is it a thing when you look back and think, nah, that's really messed? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. When I was in I think when I was away, I was away for 10 years. So, and I was still antisocial when inside, but we'll get onto that in a bit. But like I said, when that like penny dropped for me and I was in segregation for 9 months, I did a lot of reading. But I didn't, I tried reading I discovered law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a big like, wow, what the fuck is this? This is amazing. Do you know what I mean? A lot of things when I started getting into that, and I don't know, I really wanted to enlighten myself, and I wanted to sort of learn things. When I started learning about myself and learning about that, like I believe the school system is outdated. Do you know what I mean? It's like this little thing, I think the school system's outdated. I think not learning life skills or life, and I think how you grow up and that as well. It's your surroundings. It's like. I'm blaming how I come up, but when it's like your education, so whatever you put in your surroundings, whatever you're putting in your brain, do you know what I mean? How can you act any different? How can you, if you're growing up around violence and this and this and that, that's going to be drilled into your head. That's going to be hardwired. Maybe not for everyone. I'm not saying that, but majority. Do you know what I mean? How can you sort of think outside the box when your brain's full of chaos and dramas and hustling what you know? Do you get what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. It's a conditioning. Like you grow up a certain way that your mind becomes conditioned to think that is what it is and that is what it should be. And it's interesting you brought up laws of attraction, because for a lot of people operate not knowing about laws of attraction. But once I learned about laws of attraction, it changed my life completely. Like what did you like? What impact did it have on you? Like, was it a straight away one, or was it? It's almost like a common sense thing, isn't it? Like something just goes off in your head.
Yeah, when you see it, you notice it everywhere.
Yeah.
This is law of attraction. This is law. I'm attracting this law of attraction. Like, I think once you clock it, once it comes into your life, like for me, I always feel like this, so how I changed, how I come across law of attraction. So I was in segregation for 9 months. So no, it wasn't for the 9-month one. I was in segregation and one time, and I remember like thinking like, well, you know, what the fuck is happening? Like I'm back in, I want to get out. Do you know what I mean? And you know, sort of losing all sort of hope, and I wanted to get a book, and I got this book, and it was a red one, and it was called The Key to Living Law of Attraction. So I was just like, well, reading this, and next thing you know, there was like a Zen monk, and it was something that my psychologist said to me as well about, you know, when Manny Pacquiao or Mayweather was going to fight. She said like a thing that I'll never forget. She said, you know, what is you had two different kind personalities fighting for like sort of two different sort of reasons. And when she said to me is like, what is it you're fighting for? And it was like combinations. And I started really reading this book, and it got me thinking. I tried meditation, and I wrote these goals down, bro. And I don't know what it was, like something in me, like whether, you know, then that's why I tell everyone I made a deal with the universe. I said, if I put everything into this law of attraction, and I just sat there and I visualized day and day, like I'm in segregation, bro, and I'm sitting there visualizing coming out, I'm going to be filmed. I'm going to visualize me walking out to that ring. I'm going to visualize writing a book. Bro, I can't even fucking spell. And I still did it. Do you know what I mean? So all these things that I said that I was going to do, I'm ticking it.
Yeah.
But, and so every time something comes and goal, and I'm ticking these goals, I still got the book now. I keep that with me. You know, there's things like I'm ticking.
Yeah.
It just sort of like solid, you know what I mean? Solidates it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's so funny you say that, because I'm proper with you on that one. Like a lot of time people might come up to me and talk about, oh, Daps, you're doing so well. Oh, Daps, I saw that you did this. I saw that you did that. Like, how do you do it? And honestly speaking, like, I proper blag everything. I'm a blagger. I blag everything. But in my head, I've always said to myself, I can do this. I can do that. And as long as you're putting that out there, I'm telling you, once you start realizing that your thoughts become things, and what you say and what you speak actually comes to pass, like your whole world will change. So people must have been looking at you thinking like you're a nut job when you're saying all these things, or when you're inside.
Bro, I was in a high school mental hospital, and I'm telling these people I'm going to come out and do these things. I was lucky they didn't start putting needles in my ass again, bro. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's keep it real with it.
Yeah.
It was bad. But now they fucking message me. How about that? Now they message me. You know what I mean? It's like, how you doing this?
What's that like for you? Like, is there a part of you where, you know, they it's not that they were the opposition when you were going through whatever you're going through, but now that they're messaging you and you're getting, you know, this message here, this message there, is there any part of you that wants to look at them and be like, nah, you know what, piss off? Do you know what I mean? Or is it a thing of like, you know what, what's going on, blah blah blah?
Do you know what? Like, truth be told, it's a bit of both. Like, you know, the tattoo I got, I've pretty seen it, is that PTAW. Like, I get a lot of this energy that I think I have. I channel it, and a lot of it does come through hatred and anger and bitterness. And you know, like I'm mentally fucked up from where I've been through that place. I'm still not, you know, they are still suffering anxiety like tremendously, and that's because like experiences and that I went through there. You know, and there's people, you know, you are going to get your arseholes. You are going to get people that made life difficult for me in there. Do you get what I'm sort of saying? So it is. But the thing is, where I got my energy, like from them, like I knew they was laughing at me. I knew they was sort of like, you know what I mean? It's off his head. So it just sort of drives that. Nah, like I'm a PTAW. I'm gonna prove you're wrong. I'm gonna prove them all wrong. Do you get what I mean? It's sort of. So now when I get in it, but it's nice when the ones that did sort of give you the time of day or did speak to you equally. Like when you're in there is no equality, man. It's all patronizing. It's all fucking you look down on, you laughed at. So, you know, when the ones that did sort of like speak to you on a level, when it means a lot. Yeah. And outside now, I speak to people from all different walks of life on a level. You know, I sat there and I had my first fucking dinner party, bro, like with a fucking millionaire, like some head director and all that. And then there's me, I'm an ex-fucking Broadmoor patient, bro, and I'm sitting there at a dinner party like someone of complete different walks of life. And we were sitting down a great laugh and that, you know what I mean? So having that equality, talking to people on a level and that's what I really like. So it means so much. So when them start gaming that time of day and talking to them on a level, when they message, it means a lot because they're like, oh, I'm so buzzing for you. You know, it's sort of sincere. You know what I mean? And I know the ones that are hating on me, that hated on me, they're sitting there, they're fucking skipping or probably not watching or pressing the thumbs down on my YouTube shit. You know what I mean? But it don't matter. Like,
just
you know
so
what I mean?
they're just out there, just so bitter, innit? But
Yeah.
oh, sorry, bro. I thought you want to say something. But that I just want to touch on the equality thing. Like,
Yeah.
how much, yeah? Because it's funny that you say that, or it's important that you say that, because that changes everything when someone actually deals with you as an equal and not like, even though you might be in, let's say, prison or whatever, like you're still a man. You're still a man. So like, how much does that do to you when, you know, not only are you in jail or whatever, or Broadmoor, but like you're also not being spoken to as an equal, and then you come out and people start dealing with you as equals. Like, what's the whole mind shift like with that?
It's how I feel now, like getting that equal, or getting spoken on a level outside. I love it. I love it, but that's why I chat, like, you know, especially now, like, you know, people are storing that the amount of messages I get is a lot. And that's why I take the time to reply, like I read them all. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially when like people are taking the time to sort of open up. That's why, you know, I go through and I'm sitting there for long, but I do my best to reply to everyone, because it's just sort of that, it's that respect. It is a level. I like it. And I like talking to people, and just like, yeah, they're equally. I think it goes a long way. And it's like, it's how you respond with people. You don't know what people are going through and all that. And that one word, that one thing you might say, or giving someone a nod on this, it makes their day. Do you get what I mean? It did for me. I know how much weight that can carry by just treating someone respectfully and like nicely. It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
It really ain't hard to do. Do you get what I mean?
So like, you're talking about, you know, you were gone for 10 years and whatever. Let's touch on that.
Yeah.
What happened that you had to be gone for 10 years? Like, where did it start, you know, spiraling for you? And, you know, what was it that actually eventually got you inside?
It was for like all the stuff that happened away. Obviously that, you know, all that sort of stuff is slowly coming out. A lot of it's can't come out on the Amazon film. I think where it all boils down to really is like, you know, it all started from a fight in a pub that had nothing to do with me. But, you know, because people say 10 years, I didn't. I actually said 12 and a half. I went away for 2.5 years before that in my teens. So I was on license. So when I come out, I was trying to like, put a life together. And to be honest, I hadn't changed, bro. Like I was, you know, I went straight back to my powers. I made actually a few connections in prison. So I was all about, you know, trying to step up. I was trying to do this and do that. And then there was a fight in the pub, and, you know, it had nothing to do with me because I had like a white t-shirt of same description. You know, when you're known to the police, you get arrested once you're on license. If you get arrested, you get straight recalled, you get charged. Mm-hmm. So even though I got arrested, got charged, and then got recalled. But yeah, I got found not guilty. But then when I was away, just a lot of things happened inside. You know, there's a lot of things. There's alleged hostage taking. There's roof protests. There's a lot of violence, and obviously everyone knows. You know, going to Broadmoor, everyone knows I got kicked out of Broadmoor. So there was a lot of charges that got built up.
How hard is that to do? Get kicked out of Broadmoor?
I was just about to say that. Because what did so your first, you say you done 2.5 years before that. How old were you then? When
17.
You done
17.
So then you come out. How long was you out for after that?
7 months.
7 months. And then we spoke to Stannerman last week, and I asked him the question is that when you went inside and then come back out, did you feel pressured that you had to keep up a reputation around your friends, or, you know, because you've served time? I know where I grew up from, people sort of like looked up to people who went in prison. It was a big thing. And did you feel like when you come out, did you have that support, that people around you to say, Ben, get your life together, you're not going to go back in? Or was it a case of you had to live up to something that you wasn't or didn't want to be?
I think, Brady, my only intention was, bro, just to come out and be straight back on the bullshit. Like, it didn't matter like if people was going to try and build me up or not. Like, I didn't come out with that mindset of, wow, I want something different. Do you get what I mean? Mine was like coming out, like it was like, I need to go I need to go reload, I need to go make this happen. I think I wrapped someone up like 2 weeks of being up. Like, I'm not saying that I went away for something I didn't do. Like, if I'm being honest, I wasn't out and I wasn't being an angel. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I was active. The actual one thing I didn't actually do, I got recalled, but it's like karma anyway. There was loads of stuff I could have got recalled for, which I didn't. But the one thing I actually didn't do, I got recalled for. But I never come out of any intention, so to sort of change. No.
So,
and then was that a young offenders you went to at 17 or a normal man's?
Yeah, it was a bit of both, because it's like over 18. It's like over 18 as well. So, but I got released from Rochester, but I was in a couple of prisons, like young offenders, Lewis, Felton, and just a couple then.
everyone always goes to Felton. That's the one. Well, maybe because we said this last week, isn't it?
Last week, yeah, everyone from London.
Yeah, Felton. That's it. And for you in these prisons now, because I feel like a lot of these prisons are just dominated, no matter where you are, just dominated by man from London. And
yeah, of course.
Stuff like that. So what was that like for you? Because, you know, obviously it's not your surroundings. You're not surrounded by people you particularly know. Like, how hard, because jail was probably already hard already, but how much harder was it with the fact that you're not around your people?
It's difficult. So I'm saying I was from Eastbourne, so do you get what I mean? You like obviously saying London dominates the sort of prison system, especially like southeast of the country. You know, like it's going to be a lot of London or what. It's in young offenders, but you sort of carry yourself well. Like you sort of carry yourself well, and I think you come down to respect. I think people always like, sort of see my appearance and all that, and they can be, you know what I mean? People don't think much, but I think, you know, when people see that you put in that lifestyle, when they see you put in the work and they sort of know your game, you know, you just get known. But I always seem to sort of get into problems. I don't know, something's come up on my screen.
Oh, did you not see that?
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Just making sure
It was on my side. Yeah, go on.
Is it still there?
No, it's gone.
So I was just making, like, I forgot what I was saying.
Said you trouble always used to find you.
Trouble used to find you all the time.
Yeah, because it's like an ego thing, you know, when you're younger as well, isn't it? It's like an ego thing. And I think where I sort of come younger from being on the receiving end from bullying, I think when I sort of start learning that I can throw a punch, I can do this, you know what I mean? Like, you know, being on the receiving end of violence for so long, it's like you don't become scared of taking a punch. What you're gonna do, you're gonna punch me. You know, you feel I've never been punched before. Like, come on, it's nothing new to me. Then, do you know? And I think it sort of inside, it's like, I think it's the emotional triggers and that as well. When someone's trying to eye you, someone makes a remark, it triggers all them sort of like trauma, emotions that's connected to. It's like, he said that, he's doing this, he's trying to pick, and then you start associating that word in the file. So instead of like you going mad over that thing he said, it's what that thing he said he's done. That's the emotion that's connected to. So it all just comes out, and then you're like, I'm coming in. It's gone.
It's so mad how much like ego plays a part in everything.
Yeah, 100%.
You get what I'm saying? Because you can go in and if you've got the biggest ego, like, it's probably going to make it 10 times harder for you to survive in there. Do you know what I mean? At what point did you have to get rid of that ego, or was it literally the laws of attraction thing, or did the healing or the getting rid of that mentality like happen way before that?
I think it was law of attraction, and it was the therapy. Obviously, the psychologist, Jenny Kilcorn. I think it was about, it was a combination of things, bro. It's like law of attraction, and it was thinking about what I want to do in my life. Is I think it was about, and it's like the one thing I got big tired of my back is redemption. It's sort of, about I want to try and do, when I learned about the ripple effects, that one action, the effect that can have, like so on. And I just think all the negative things, like, because I probably was on the right shit end of some ripple effects. I've just made my life creating negative ripple effects. And when I sort of learn about the effect that you can have on people and all that, it's for why am I doing this negative shit? And, I want to try and do something. I want to try and do something, positive. I want to try and build people up. I was never built up. Imagine if I was built up as a kid, how different my life could have been. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
No. When obviously you went back inside, you got recalled. How did you see yourself going to like Broadmoor? What was that like for you? Like going from normal prison to the mental institute?
Bro, like, imagine yourself being 21, Bradley. Yeah, 21, and then they're telling you, because you would have known, you know about Broadmoor now, but I would have known then. I said to you, you said right now, bro, so tomorrow night you're going to Broadmoor.
But why is it that they sent you to Broadmoor though? Like, did you know that you were like that was an option, or was it like a mad surprise?
It's kind of, I don't know, like a bit of both. I knew the prison system was struggling. They didn't really know what to do. You know what I mean? I know all the shit that I was building up, and you know, like I can say one of the things that I did when I was away, because there's clips of it online and that. So I'll say this. Obviously, you know about, I don't know if you've seen it, but when I was on top of the roof in Winchester Prison. Do you know about that one?
I ain't seen that.
No, you ain't seen that one. So you got Winchester Prison. I was on top of the roof. I did one of my protests, and I climbed up the roof, and I was up there, and it was like in July, summer. Like I was meant to be in the seg anyway, but they fucked up. The hatch door was open, and I managed to get under and climb up this pipe and fucking like a weirdo, and then I had socks in my hand and under the wire and shit. Like, yeah, I did it like proper Spider-Man shit, bro. So anyway, I was on top of this roof in Winchester Prison. I started ripping it all up, and when you do these sort of protests, you get these professional negotiators come in. You know, they're prison screws. They might be from different areas. They have to be, you know, they go through their training. So like you're trained to negotiate, or you get the tornado squad, you know. So, and they said to me, you know, well, what, you know, what would you want? Well, it's like, well, what are you going to give, innit? Then so I know from previous, like my protests that I've done, that I know you don't get nothing. It's just about just trying to calm you down and to resolve the situation as soon as possible. So I normally just sort of like would take the piss. I'd just be talking, just trying to fucking laugh with them, just buzzing off them. I'm there out there by myself. At least I've got someone to sort of try and buzz off of, innit? So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I'll come down if you get me an Elvis Presley impersonator singing Faith by George Michael. and then hence me going to sort of Broadmoor. But I'll tell you what though, do you want to know a mad story? This is a mad story. So basically, ever since I said that, yeah, that George Michael Faith, yeah, that song, you know, when like you're on when you're on like they call it the sweat box, when you're going from like moving around prison, you're going like the bus, isn't it? The sweat box, like the prison transfer van. They got like a radio station there, like the screw of the staff, they would sort of like, and they don't always put like Heart FM or something on, or like Smooth. And do you know what song used to come on every time I got moved prison, bro? Every time I'd be getting moved from prison to prison or prison to another hospital, that song would come on, bro, to haunt me. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. Every time, babe, every time. Madness, every time.
That's real karma for you, mate.
That's real karma. That song, man, it haunts me today.
So how many like jails did you actually like go through in your time, and was it a thing where you're going from jail to jail at times, and did you ever feel like this ain't ever gonna end, or did that just become your new normal?
Bro, I was a lifer. The sentence I received towards the end was section 3741, which is indefinite. Yeah, it's like the prison one is called like IPP. The hospital version is section 3741. It's indefinite. I had no release date. Do you know what I mean? That was it. I remember the doctor telling me once, said, you'd be lucky if you get out before you're 40. Do you get what I'm saying? I was 21, 22 years old at this time, 22. So there was definitely times I thought I was never getting out.
Yeah, I was about to say, because even when like they've given you your thing, like how long did it take you to accept it that I'm probably not going to get out? Or was it a thing you just accepted it straight away, like this is you? Or were you actually thinking, okay, they say this, but maybe 5-6 years, maybe I might have a chance? Or did you just accept it straight away?
I think it's sort of like, it's a good question, but I haven't even asked that. How did I feel? I think you don't want to accept it, but I think, you know, reality is that's, on paper, that is the situation. And I think, I struggle with it. That's why I caused a lot more problems inside, especially in Broadmoor. And there wasn't just that going on. I had like dramas inside and that as well, but I did stop talking to everybody outside for quite a long period of time because I was done. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like there was no point. So yeah, in a way I did accept it because I was sort of like, this is me, and I locked everyone off outside. but maybe at the same time, I didn't want to accept it. I knew when I changed and I had this goal, I had this vision, I definitely didn't accept it. I knew I was going to get out. And I said 2020 as well. I knew I'd be getting out, and I knew I was going to do these things. You know, that's unexplainable. But I think it just boiled down to me to believe. I knew something. I knew, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let anyone take that sort of belief away from me.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just hope. Maybe it was a thought of something I had to hold on to. I don't know, but it has become a reality, which is crazy.
Yeah, man. And you said that you kind of locked everyone outside the way that you cut them off, right? But like, it's so funny because we had Dunham, man. As Dunham was like, that was the hardest thing for him. But for you doing that, was that the thing that you genuinely felt was best for you, or and trying to maintain relationships? Would that have, you know, had an adverse effect on you?
I think it was out of just lowness. I don't really think you just think too much. I think, you know, I'm done. Do you know what I mean? I'm on hell on earth, bro. You know, end of the road. Like, it's just, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Ringing, and then it's just done. It was pure approach.
Yeah, getting full soap of people saying they're going to do this for you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no point, man. This was my world now.
You just said there, hell on earth, Broadmoor. Was it hell on earth?
100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, was it Roy Shaw? Like, I read his book, and the quote that he said about Broadmoor was, you know, the nicest thing I can say about Broadmoor is I survived it. And I said to him, like, I back that quote. You know what I mean? I absolutely back that quote. So.
Yeah, man. That's. I can't imagine that somewhere so bad that you're just happy to just get out. Is that? Do you feel like it rehabilitates you though, or do you?
No, I don't. I mean, do you know what? I'm glad you brought this up, innit? I didn't want to get like too into the politics, but you know, someone I knew, and I said this on the Billy Moore podcast, and someone I knew who I was in that war, because there was like a big investigation after what happened there, and you know, they knew there was a lot of wrongdoing. You know, there was a cover up that I can't talk about because there's things coming out on the film and all that, but there was a cover up. Yeah, and that's not me just chatting shit. There is a cover up. And one of the guys I went through this ward with, I was in Broadmoor with, yeah, like you share, it's like your soldiers going to war, battle, whatever, you're going to share something. And he went to a medium secure before me, and he got out, and he's been recalled. A few months back, he got recalled because he just lost his head. He's so fucked up from that place. Like they say, you go there for therapy and all that. Like, you need therapy when you come out of that place, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? That place fucks you up. I mean, I've never been the same since. Never.
And I was going to ask that later on, but I might as well, seeing as you touched on it, like there's things that you carry with you all through life from like that have happened when you're younger and whatever, and we're led to believe that when you go into these places like Broadmoor, they kind of help you go through, you know, with therapy or whatever. But you're saying it leaves you worse, basically.
Broadmoor doesn't make it worse. Ashworth to a degree could help because do you know what I mean? Like there was genuine staff there, like you know, a lot of the psychologists and psychiatrists. Do you know what I mean? It's again, it comes down. You know, I won't start slagging because it does come down to the equality. Do you know what I mean? Like you just, yeah. But with the psychologist helped me, Jennifer Kilcorn, she cared about her job. Do you get what I'm saying? When I was in the second that she would come and she give you the time. You know, her heart was in it to try and do you know what I mean? Do good, like do her job. So, like, I think that's what it is. Like with Broadmoor, you get wherever you go there. Like me and that guy, you're just fucked up, and it is like saying things are always gonna sort of stick with you. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that answer the question? I was getting a bit emotional. Thoughts and that come in my head and shit and that then, bro, isn't it? So,
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. But like, I wanted to then lead on to like saying, are you like how do you cope with it now? Are you good? Because you know it's a real thing. Like trauma, from like you've been through real things, not in life only, but just like even with going through the prison system and everything. Like how are you coping with that coming up? Is there help for you, or is the aftercare not really there for you?
The aftercare, okay, like you know, the aftercare community team is okay, that they are there. Like, you know, fortunately I've been able to make, you know, I've met some amazing people that I'm doing. I've got some good networks in Swanson. I've got people that You know, I'm very fortunate, but my case is, you know, my situation, me as a person, is so different to a lot of other people coming out. Not, do you get what I mean? So it's like, I'm going to have this support because of who I am and what I'm doing at the minute. Do you know what I mean? But like people coming out, like my friend who come out Broadmoor, he went to the other hospital, come out, he's recalled, you know, he might have had the aftercare, but it sounds like it's not just about the aftercare they can provide, it's about the people, having the right people that are around you. Well, I still suffer, I still dip and I still low. Like, you know, my anxiety is all around like eating and swallowing. Like I struggle with that. People don't know that. Like I can have panic attacks when I'm going to eat. Like sometimes I get scared of eating and shit and that, bro. So, and that's because of things that happened in there. Like they didn't want to send me out to hospital. I had a hernia. They didn't know I had a hiatus hernia, so I couldn't eat or swallow. And I was like 13, 14 stone at these times inside. And then I started losing it all, not being able to train and etc. And because they didn't want to send me to hospital, finally 40 months later, they sent me to hospital and I had like a tube down my throat and there was like a few things wrong, my stomach infection and hiatus hernia. Because if they don't want to send you to hospital, all that time I built up that repetition of every time I was eating, I felt like I was choking. Do you get what I'm sort of saying? So shit like that sticks to me, you know, and that's the one that I'm still very, very struggling to sort of deal with. You know, even coming out, being overwhelmed, like going out, like I can go out my front door now and, you know, still getting used to cooking, like doing things by yourself. You know, I was very blessed when I first got out I shouldn't have done it, is I got into a relationship, which was good. She was amazing. Like she'd been supporting, you know, recent because I wasn't the best when I first come out. I still overwhelmed, still adjusting. Yeah. You know, I made some mistakes at the beginning, and that's sort of let's come back now, and I'm dealing with that at the minute, which is obviously shit. It's like, and I feel bad because I've hurt someone who put a lot into me, not intentionally, but you know. So that's what I'm sort of dealing with at the minute. But then these are life lessons I'm gonna have to be learning. I was away, so there's a lot of life lessons I'm still learning now that probably would have learned in my early 20s.
Yeah, late that's something that's natural. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you're stuck in your own world. It's almost like, yeah, it's its own world, and you were there for like 10 years. So like you're not gonna have it figured out. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm flipping 33 and I've been out on road. Do you get what I'm saying? And I've still not got it figured out. So you come out, like you're gonna have your mistakes, you're gonna mess up a bit, but it's all about like your willingness to actually bounce back from that. And you've bounced back from like look at the stuff you've bounced back from, innit? And you managed to turn it around. And I've got no like qualms about the fact that whatever you're going through, you're gonna be able to turn that around too. This is just gonna be another hurdle, another chapter to another book. I heard your 40-page book.
You read it? You read it?
No, I've not read it. I heard.
It.
I'm actually gonna get two. I'm gonna get one for myself, and I'm gonna get one to give away on our podcast. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna read it. That's something I heard you mention, because I'm someone that I don't read books. Like I feel like I'm a smart person, get me, but I don't read books, and I want to read books. And I heard you talking about your book, saying how a lot of people with like the self-help books, they don't get past the first 2 chapters.
No, that's one of the facts I read.
Yeah. So then, and me personally, I wouldn't get past. I've got Dennis Bergkamp's book here right next to me, and I think I'm on chapter 2. Do you know what I mean? And so for you to have a book that's so concise and straight to the point, that's actually quite smart. So I'm actually going to take that in. And was that something that you wanted to do, like have your own book, or was it something that just came about just randomly?
No, I think when I sort of come across the law of attraction, I fell in love with it so much, and it's like you fell in love. I wanted to sort of shut off. I thought this is like blowing my mind away. Like, I want to share this enlightenment. I want to share this experience. This is what I'm thinking. I want other people to look. You know, I was going around talking about it non-stop, and I just wanted other people to have that in the locker and that as well. So, but the thing is there's so many books out there, like saying they're big and they're long out. You know, it's like they don't explain it. There's a lot of science behind law of attraction and that as well. So, and where I come from and that, and my opinion, it's like I wanted to try and do the book for like the few types of people where like people don't like reading long books. You know, that do like law of attraction, but I want to see the science bit. And yeah, I don't know. I just sort of like tried brainstorming it and that to try and like, and in the end I said, look, you know, I'm gonna make a 40-page book, innit, about law of attraction, and like everything is straight to the point, what it is in words that I probably would have understood. Do you get what I'm saying? I was basically trying to write law of attraction to myself. Do you get what I mean? Like I was trying to sort of show like how could I reach younger Ben Hatchets? Do you get what I mean? Like how could I get, you know, Ben Hatchet, they're going to pick his book up and they're actually going to finish it, and hopefully I might take something from it. And that's what I did. So it's just a short little book. And yeah, I was very proud to sort of self-publish it, and you know, people read it, they like it, which is good, you know. And it's sort of, yeah.
What's it like for you saying to yourself like that you're an author? So when people talk about you and they say, "Oh, the author," like what's that like?
It's crazy, isn't it? It's mad, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's mad. Like it's like even saying with the comments and that, they come and say inspiring people. Like, you know, I've started looking into law of attraction now because they've seen my story, or like, you know, I've said something that's got into someone's head and they're trying to make a different decision. Especially when the young ones like miss it and they say, oh, "I really like your story," and then they're sending me a picture of like they've gone to sign up to a boxing gym that day. It melts my heart, bro. Like literally, like, and it's sort of so. What's the word? Like not satisfying. So like rewarding to sort of say like, you know, I must be doing something right. I'm still like saying I'm still trying to get it right. I'm still far from perfect. Do you know what I mean? I'm still. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying my best, but you know when you do get feedback like that, or do you get what I'm saying? When someone's saying to you, like, I don't really think of it like him. He said, "Look, bro, you're an author." Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy, isn't it? Like, you know, like it's mad, isn't it? But yeah,
Oh man,
it feels good.
mad.
It's mad, isn't it?
Well, yeah, your story is, I've never heard anything like that. It's amazing, and see, I know what you're doing now outside of everything else you're doing, supporting the kids and trying to be positive role model. You're doing that now, and I've got full respect for you for doing that. Where did the boxing start?
Like I've said it a few times. Like if it was art that I had an interest in, or if it was rock climbing, I'd be doing all that shit to the max, to the extreme, and that as well, bro. Like it's just for me. I think with the boxing, the discipline sort of behind it, it's. I don't know, just sort of, you know, in something, it's that one word, that inclination, you know, it's something that you just sort of tick towards. That was sort of, you know, it's something just for me. There's just, I don't know, like a big fascination, like interest. I really sort of liked it. I just thought, you know, it could be boxing. I tried when I was younger, but I was so caught up in that sort of street life shit. It was, you know what I mean? That was full priority. But when I come away with the boxing, I met, you know, Tony Quigley, who was a staff in one of the hospitals. He fought Paul Smith in the Echo Arena. And he was like one of the only people that sort of gave me the time of day. You know, this geezer, he won. He was like the first person to win a belt under David Haye. So when I'm sitting there talking with this guy and he's giving me advice and doing things, it just sort of, I just sort of boxing. So.
Yeah. No, were you an actual, like, you've come into boxing, but how big of an actual boxing fan were you? Or was it?
Well, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I've always loved boxing. Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you able to like keep up to date and stay in touch with what's going on whilst you were in, or do you just kind of hear little bits through the grapevine?
No, like mostly like you'd hear like someone telling you get the radio to get the big fights. You try and get them on the radio and that, or a lot of times sort of word of mouth. You know, when I did speak with people and that again, you're asking them, and in actually you can get DVDs. So I get like all the DVDs. I get all the classic fights and. I like you get them the DVDs, and like it's like the UFC. It's in the UFC DVDs up. DVDs like are becoming a thing in the past now, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've learned about apps and Netflix and fucking Amazon TV and you know they want the Fire Sticks and that. So I'm sort of learning it, but I'm still so used to DVDs. But
yeah, how long have you been out now?
I got out in July. July just gone, so about 6 months now.
6 months. Because I saw you. It's so crazy how like time goes, and you know, like you seem more. Cause when I saw you on another podcast, what podcast was that one?
Which one? I don't know a few. Which one?
James English.
James English.
Is that his name? It is James English, right?
Yeah.
I saw you on that, and that you were out, and you were like, yeah, like you were so like. But now you're very much just settled. Like, is there a reason for that, or is that just more of a case of, you know, you've just been given time and you're just now naturally just more settled, like you're becoming more at ease being out now?
Yeah, I think it's definitely more. It's taking time. Like, I mean, it's still more like taking time. I think, you know, I'm getting a bit more at ease. Like when I first come out, things were so overwhelming. Things were really were difficult at the beginning of coming out. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you're buzzing. The whole dream, the whole goal when you're in there is to get out one day. It's to be free when you're free and everything's well. And the people, you know, cars are different. Everything's different. You know, like gadgets, iPhone. Come on, bro. I didn't. You know what I mean? I know how to do all these sort of shit. Innit? Like tellies, you can. Alexa, you know what I mean? You've got things you can talk to in that now, like turn this Alexa, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's just so different. So it's not just the small things, there's actually like so much things. And then I think going out shoppings and all that as well, it's, you know, I still struggle with it now, like going out and getting prepared for things, because all that kind of stuff's being done for you. It's not our choice, but like, so it is difficult. It is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, adjusting, it's still going to take time. I'm still getting there, but I'm not there.
Yeah, so I was going to say things like, so you mentioned when you go out to like go shopping or whatever, when you're around that many people, sometimes are you comfortable now, or do you still kind of be like, oh, I'm actually free, I'm actually can like do what I want, or does the thought still come in your head like, raw, okay?
No, like I think for the first sort of month and that, I felt like I had to be back, because like towards me getting out, you had like day releases and that. So like strict time, and you got to be back. And I think when I first come out, I just sort of like, oh, it's getting dark, like, you know what I mean? Or like in time, you keep clock watching and shit like that. And it's like, oh, you know, like just relax. I think when I spoke with like I'm still learning now. Like a couple of months ago, for the Amazon, I went and done an interview with Jar Jar Souls in Brixton.
Yeah.
He's a wise guy. He's someone you should reach out to. I think, you know, I was speaking and listening to him, and and as he was sort of talking, I said, "Oh, have you got any advice to people out there watching?" And I've actually took that advice on. He was saying like, just be patient, and like, you know, even when I spoke to people like Coke and saying about just, do you know what I mean? Things will come, and that. I think that's the main thing. What I'm trying to stay in my head now, just sort of be patient and just relax and just try and take it in, and just step by step, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, Jar Jar Souls, he's influence in the streets, because I grew up not too far from Brixton, so I grew up in Peckham. So his influence was so mad, and then he managed to flip it in a way where it's now so positive. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm happy you bring him up, because he doesn't get half as much as love as he should, because
100%.
he's proper reaching out to people, and he's actually doing the work that
he does. And then the thing is, you won't know the work he does, because he don't talk about it until you like talk to him, and he actually tell you what he's doing with the youth projects and all this. Do you know what I mean? And the way that he's still staying where he come from, and he's got that studio right there, and you know, honestly, I've got so much respect for that guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, sitting there talking with him, he's an inspiration himself. You know, everything he's doing.
No, I'm going to say, so touching on you just touched on the youth thing there. I know you definitely a positive role model now for these youths out and about, and obviously just recently the kid in we spoke about this last week, the kid in Reading who got stabbed, and this knife crime is getting out of hand now.
It's crazy. 13.
It's everywhere. 13, yeah.
It's like 13-year-old boy has lost his life. It was like, I think there's 3, 4 of them, 13, 14 kids killing kids. They're gonna lose their life, and it's that ripple effect. The parents of both sides, because of what 13. Do you know what I mean? This is why I want to do. Do you know what I mean? This is when you're saying about what I'm trying to do. This is why. Do you know what I mean? I want one of these 13-year-olds. These fucking, it's still crazy saying 13. I want one of these 13-year-olds to try and see, and you know, I just want to be able to sort of say something that will make them look. So even if I say something, that will make them look something up that will inspire them. Even if it's not me that's inspiring them, or like one of my actions. That's why I wanted to do the boxing, that really, because you know, boxing is very sort of trendy in that as well. And I wanted to see like me coming, wow, if he can do it. And that's why I want to sort of them to sort of, they need to take their energy and they need to channel it into something. It needs to be sport. It needs to be some sort of project. For either like football, boxing, MMA. You know, we've got to just get into something, man, because this is getting fucking ridiculous. It's crazy, bro. 13.
Yeah, when I heard that, I couldn't believe it, and I heard about it when you posted it up, Brad. And my first thing was like, it's crazy, and and they're not even like, it's crazy anyway. But when I saw the story behind it, and it's not even like they got into a fight or whatever, like a girl setting them up, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know what can be done to stop it, but I definitely do feel like a lot of these youngsters do need people like yourself, maybe Brad, who are older, and people that they can actually respect, to actually come out and say something to them. So that for you, how important is it for you to actually do that work and be that role model? Because you might not even see yourself as a role model. Do you see yourself as a role model?
No, I don't. I say I even struggle to get compliment. Like when people say it and all, I still struggle with it. And someone picked up on it the other day and got on to me about it, but because I don't. But what I have come to accept is like, you know, is now I'm getting a platform that is coming with responsibility. And I think even I did this thing with Darren G, like I did my podcast. I know it's very controversial at the minute because, you know, with what's going on with him and everything, and I've just sat and did this podcast. But you know, one of the reasons I've actually done that, and I know I might have upset people by doing that, but the actual reason that I have done it is because people are going to watch for one reason, with all the beef, you know, the beef of the podcasters, whatever's going on at the minute. But the actual fact is, a lot more people are going to watch it, but there's going to be a lot of talk there about anti-knife. Do you get what I'm sort of saying? They might watch it for other reasons, but it's still getting that message out there. And that's actually the reason I did it, you know what I mean? Because it means everything to me trying to make this effect. Bro, I've got the big thing tattooed on my back there, redemption. And everything I'm doing, I don't get fuck all for, bro. I get no money. Do you know what I mean? I get nothing. Do you know what I mean? Even my camera though, I have to save a little bit of money just to pay him to do these bits that I'm doing. So, but to me, to make a difference, a positive difference, and you know, not to my people that was close to me to be known for the guy that got kicked out of Broadmoor, but then he come back, he's active, he came, and do you know what I mean? To actually come back and people to look and think, fucking hell, this geezer, you know, he made a difference. Or one day, if I may get older, then someone comes up and sees me and says, "Oh, I remember you did this," and that made me make a better decision. Do you get what I'm sort of saying? If I can sort of influence, especially in the youth center with the no knives, if you know, if seeing the kid when they were young and they're getting into shit, and then years later, imagine that one of the kids come up and say, "Oh, you know, they got a family, they're doing well, and all this." Do you get what I mean? That's why I want to do this, bro. Because you know, life is precious, and I think you know everybody can, you know, they can channel their energy correctly, and they can achieve more than what the system would let you believe you can achieve. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think especially in this day and age now, where when I was 14, 15, and probably you're the same, I didn't have anyone like us now talking about this, or people saying stay away from this or do that. And people have been, I'm not saying I got involved in anything, but obviously what happened to me, and I was involved in around that knife crime. So that happened to me, but I didn't have anyone who'd been there and done it and was trying to mentor the kids from our estate. I had no one like that. So I think, and that's a reason that I want to do it as well, because I've been there, and I just said, I feel like my story or whatever can help these kids. And I think a good thing now, a lot of people are speaking about it, and a lot of older people are telling these kids now and trying to give them the message. But it's like you say, you can take horse water, but you can't make it drink. But I'm going to still keep on trying to get my message out there, and hopefully, as you said there, if one person can take anything away from it and do it, then I'll be happy with that.
And that's what it's about. And obviously, you being a pro footballer and that as well, making it a football, you're extra cool. I only know briefly about your story. Hopefully, we're gonna link up, do some film one day again, because your story as well. It's like, do you know what I mean? How many of them kids in that now on the road dream of being a footballer?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Now you're living how many kids out there dream? So they're gonna listen to you, bro. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're gonna have that power of influence, that power, you know, guide people and that. So that's what it's about. I think you're taking the time to do all this. It's amazing, and that's why I'll do it, because I respect. I have looked into it. I think it's respect. It's powerful, and it can take more people. You know, need to give back what we're doing. That's what it's about.
And the reason why you guys are best, you know, placed to actually help a lot of these people is because really and truly, the bottom line is a lot of these young ones who are struggling or doing all of this crime or whatever, or living that life, they only respect badness. So when they know that, like you guys have lived that life, and you know you've come out on the other side. You're like, nah, I've been there, because it's very hard to take advice from someone that ain't been through what you've been through. At the end of the day, so I think for you lot to have massive platforms like you do, and to actually have gone through certain things that they can relate to, you know, you're definitely going to reach out to more people. So more credit to you guys. But before we wrap up, though, I just wanted to ask you, like, what's next for you, though? Like, what you got planned? What's in the future?
Apart from winging it, you know what I mean?
What's up? So obviously, what's happened now? March, has your fight in March been cancelled now as well?
As far as I know, I haven't really been told that no, but just from what I'm hearing, it's not looking too good. But like, I'm looking. I'm gonna do my best to try and fight this year. It's just there's a lot of politics involved in it, promotions, where, and you know, the lockdown, COVID, and that. But you know, I hope that I can fight this year. So you know, if March 27, that'll be good.
So go on. I interrupted. Go on. So what's in the pipeline for you now?
So I've launched my own YouTube now. So I've launched my own YouTube because I've, you know, meeting these people and that through the Amazon filming, and it's been, you know, it's been quite self-inspiring meeting all these people, different walks of life, and I've really enjoyed it. And then I've gone on to podcasts, and I've really enjoyed that, and then the feedback. So now obviously, you know, I've started my own thing on YouTube, and then I'm gonna do sort of not just podcast, I'm gonna do like mini short sort of documentaries and that as well. You know, things creating awareness from all sorts. I'm gonna do some trying things that I believe, you know, could be interesting that people are gonna sit and watch. But you know, I don't want to do it all around, you know, like a lot of these other people doing true crime and all that. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to be glamorizing a lot of the shit. I want to like, you know, I want the powerful stories. I want people to come on and say how they've done this and how they do it, and people can watch and they'll be able to connect to and take something from. I want to like you're saying, I want to take the water out there. We can't make them drink it, but we can provide it. You know what I mean? I'll just keep flooding that water and flooding them seeds out there, and that's what I'm hoping to do in my channel on that as well. So
okay, well, I love that. And you know, if there's one thing I can see is that I didn't know you before today. Do you get what I'm saying? But I've heard your story, and I can see you're in a better place, and I just hope that, you know, you continue to get better, you continue to just progress, man, because like, you know, your past doesn't define you. Do you get what I'm saying? So you are who you are now, you are who you're trying to be, and more credit to you, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, many men have gone through less and not made it. Do you get what I'm saying? So the fact that you've made it this far, like, it's a testament to just your personality and who you are, man. So big you up, man.
No, thank you. It means a lot. I appreciate it, man. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on and talk, man. That's been good and inspiring. I feel. You know what I mean, it's good. It's a good vibe. Good vibe for that talk, man.
Yeah, man. I think that's another thing. I think that these podcasts, so you've been on podcasts, we do podcasts, that it just provides people a chance to just talk. Do you get what I'm saying? Because too many times, like, you know, I don't know what your like situation is in your personal life or whatever, but people might not find people that they can talk to. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the fact that you can come on a podcast and just vibe and chat and have chat that you might not have every day, it helps, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And hopefully that translates well to like the people watching.
No, definitely. I think you've done a good job.
Okay, cool. But yeah, guys, hope you've enjoyed that. This has been an excellent one. Absolutely loved it. My guy, thank you so much for doing it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Brad, anything you need to say?
No, I was really good chat. Thanks for coming on, Ben.
No, definitely, bro. Awesome.
But yeah, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. So, Brad, what'd you say?
No, I said I appreciate him coming on.
Okay, cool. But yeah, like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you next time, guys.